Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, I asked this question on the Discord, which I'll put a link to so you guys can join it if you want. Asked about topics that, wanted me to cover on a future video. And I had the suggestion of a quarterback ranking list. And I was like, sure, I got a lot of fun with that. So let's go ahead and pull this up. Change the camera. There we go. I went to Tier Maker, which is where I like to go to make tier lists. I created this one. I looked for other ones, but some of them had too many quarterbacks on it. They had like backups and all kinds of stuff. I just looking at starting quarterbacks. I'm doing this based off of starting quarterbacks for 2023, 2024, and week one. So Kyler Murray is not on here because he's expected to be out, obviously, and that's why I didn't include him. So I have Colt McCoy instead because he's the projected starter. Now, quickly going over the categories and what they mean. Look, VIP, that's top tier. Like you're in the room, you're getting all the preferential treatment. You're top of the top. You're sitting on top of the mountain. All right, so then after that we have waiting in line. These are the quarterbacks that are really good. They just have not done enough yet to be a VIP. Maybe they need a deep playoff run or whatever. And then we can have the conversation next year. They're on the waiting list. Try to tell you, these are the quarterbacks who I feel like are being kind of overlooked. They're being looked at as lesser than they actually are. So I think that they deserve their own category. They're not bad quarterbacks. They're not elite, but they're actually better than you might think they are. Show me something. To be honest with you, most of the rookies might go in here because we just haven't seen them in an NFL game yet. Or if you're a veteran that might be coming off of an injury or something like that, and I really worry about you regaining your previous form, you got to show me something. Not good enough means I don't see any optimism. You're probably a lifelong backup that's just getting an opportunity, and I don't think you're going to really seize that opportunity and all of a sudden become a starting quarterback. Just not good enough. So, hold on. So go ahead, get into this. I did not choose the order. I uploaded the images of the quarterback, and then the website just, put them in whatever order. So we're going to go ahead and just go start from the top, work our way down. And at the sake of it not being a long video, I won't give you long explanations for certain guys. You'll kind of figure it out. Josh Allen, waiting in line. It's not in any particular order, so it's not like because he's the first one there, that means he's number whatever. Just put him in tiers. Josh Allen's waiting in line. I need to see him put up better season without Brian Daboll. He's been regressing since Daboll left. He's still a very talented quarterback. I need to see him cut down on the turnovers before I could really put him as a VIP. So he's definitely in the waiting line, though. Like I said, very talented quarterback. Tua, he's an interesting one. I won't say try to tell you. I think there's people who are still doubting how good Tua actually is. Does he have the strongest arm? No. Is he like the fastest scrambler? No. Is he the biggest? No. But the situation he's in Miami, I think he's set up to have another really good season as long as he stays healthy. There's been a lot of talk about his offseason regimen and him being more durable. Don't be surprised if he puts up a really, really good statistical season. Mac Jones, look, I gotta tell, look, it's my team. I'm a Patriots fan. The Mac Jones slander has reached heights I haven't seen. A lot of people think he's a bum. He's one of the worst quarterbacks, one of the worst starting quarterbacks. I don't think so. Let's not overreact to Matt Patricia calling plays last season. Okay? That's all I got to say. He's got Bill O'Brien. Last time he had a legit offensive coordinator. They went 10-7 and were a playoff team. Don't be surprised if you don't see the Patriots in the playoffs this season. We'll save that for another video with me actually making my playoff predictions, but I'm just saying. Aaron Rodgers is waiting in line. A lot of you would probably say, oh, he's clearly a VIP. No. You win one Super Bowl in 15 years. You have a bunch of playoff chokes under your resume, especially recently. If you're, looking at this video and getting mad, remember the Bucs NFC title game with Tom Brady when Brady was throwing interceptions left and right in the first half. Aaron Rodgers couldn't capitalize. The playoff game against the Niners in the bad weather in Green Bay, he couldn't do anything. And, it was at home. So, yeah. Now he's with the Jets. A lot of expectations. I'm not a big believer in the Jets like some are that think that all of a sudden they're a Super Bowl or bust type of team. Can they make the AFC Championship game? Lamar Jackson waiting in line. Needs to make it through a full season. I know he won MVP, 4 seasons ago. They brought in Odell Beckham. They drafted Zay Flowers. Can he have his maybe best passing season? Possible. But he's not VIP yet. Even though he does have the MVP, which means he was the best player in the league that year. That was still 4 or 5 years ago. Can he get back to that form this year? Then yeah, maybe we could have the conversation of a VIP possibly. Now Joe Burrow is a VIP. Joe Cool. All right, what else is there to say? Been to the Super Bowl. Yes, they lost, but he's been there. Some of those guys that waiting in line haven't been there. And one, Aaron Rodgers, hasn't been there 15 years. Some of you watching this video may not have ever seen Aaron Rodgers in a Super Bowl, but you probably hear a lot of people talk about how great he is. Joe Burrow's been there. The wide receiver group is back. We thought they might have to lose Higgins or Boyd, or I think Higgins actually. He's back. Joe Mixon, some people thought he'd have to go. He stayed with the team, restructured his deal, so the offense is going to be great. And I fully expect the Bengals to be there in that conversation once we get to January and February. Let me tell you something about Deshaun Watson. For those of you who think the 6 games we saw last season is who Deshaun Watson is, you are in for a treat this year, because I think Deshaun Watson is going to look more like Houston Texans Deshaun Watson this year, which means he's going to be a guy that's going to put up 4,500 yards, maybe even more. The Cleveland Browns will have a very successful season. I'm higher on them than I think some are. Once again, that's for another video where I predict playoffs and everything like that. But I'm trying to tell you, Deshaun Watson's going to have a really good year this year. Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, Donovan Peoples-Jones, David Njoku, Nick Chubb in the backfield. I'm just saying, remember this January or whatever, and I tried to warn you, Deshaun Watson's going to have a good year. Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett's going to have a good year. The connection between he and George Pickens looks like a legit threat. Throw in Deontay Johnson, who's a very talented wide receiver as well on the other side from Pickens. Well, they have Freiermuth at tight end. Maybe a little bit under the radar, but he's a good tight end. I think Pickett's gonna have a good year. The division's tough, yes. I think Pickett takes another step this year. I really do. So I'm trying to warn you right now. Don't be surprised if Pickett, puts up a really good fantasy type season, and you're looking at the end of the year like, oh man, I kind of missed out. So yeah, Kenny Pickett, trying to tell you, he's gonna have a good year. I really believe that. So like I said, show me something. The rookies kind of have to go there because we don't know really much about them. CJ Stroud, I think, is going to have a really good season. I couldn't say really good season, but I think he's going to have a decent rookie year. You have to live with the highs and lows, of course, as he gets accustomed to the NFL speed and complex defenses and everything like that. But to me, there's got to be a benefit playing at Ohio State, Big Ten football, big games week in and week out. He's have a good running game to rely on with Dameon Pierce. They got Nico Collins as a wide receiver, is pretty good. You got John Mechie. So I think CJ Stroud could have a pretty good rookie year. Anthony Richardson, once again, another rookie, so he's got to show me something. Physical tools wise, really good. He's big, athletic, can run. The question is going to be with the accuracy. Sure, he has a big arm, but what good is that if he can't hit wide receivers? So let's see what kind of year Anthony Richardson can have with the dysfunction in Indy surrounding him as well. That can't go without being said. Jim Irsay, and you've seen the offseason. Now, if Jonathan Taylor's back in the mix, that would definitely help out. If not, it's going to hurt Anthony Richardson more than anybody on this list, not having that running back behind him. Trevor Lawrence, waiting in line. Last season wasn't a fluke. I think the playoff game, the comeback and everything, yes, the Chargers choked it away, but Trevor Lawrence shaking off with 3 interceptions in the first half to lead that comeback definitely told me something about him. He's in line to be one of the next great quarterbacks in the league. Right now, I'd say he's pretty good, very good. He's not great yet, but he's definitely trending that way for sure. And they're bringing in Calvin Ridley, so he could even have a better season this year. Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill's not as bad as people are talking about him. They're making it seem like, he's going to cost the Titans games. He's going to be, replaced in like 4 or 5 weeks. I honestly think, barring injury, of course, that Tannehill plays this year, puts up decent numbers in a system where you still have Derrick Henry, who's going to command a lot of attention from defenses, which will open up the play-action passing game. You can get Tannehill on the move a little bit as well. I think Tannehill puts up a better year than you think. And Tennessee, because of that, will be in the discussion for AFC South title. They could win that division, to be honest with you. Just saying, trying to tell you. Russell Wilson, I got to put him here as well, even though you guys know I'm one of the bigger Russell Wilson fans. I can't necessarily negate everything that happened last year, although Nathaniel Hackett was a big reason why Russell Wilson struggled. As we saw, he played much better when Hackett finally got fired. But now insert Sean Payton. I think Russell Wilson has a bounce back year. So I'm letting you know right now, look out for Russell Wilson. Patrick Mahomes is the elite of the elite, and there's nothing else that needs to be said. He gets it done with no matter who is at the wide receiver position. He still has Travis Kelce, of course. Great culture in Kansas City, Andy Reid and everything. No Bieniemy for the first time this year. I doubt that has that much effect on the offense. You never know. But he's clearly the best of the best quarterback in the league. So he's obviously in the VIP room. Jimmy Garoppolo. Show me something. I could make the argument. So far in his career, he's been in 2 pretty good situations in New England, San Francisco. Now he's in a dysfunctional set with the Raiders. A lot of questions about what's going on around him. Josh Jacobs, that needs to be resolved. No Darren Waller, a Devontae Adams who could be on the brink of completely losing it and wanting out at some point. Who knows? Let's see what Jimmy Garoppolo can do this season. Can he stay healthy? The book on Jimmy Garoppolo is not if he gets hurt, but when. Will we see that again this year? So he definitely has something to prove to me. Justin Herbert, waiting in line. I just talked about Trevor Lawrence, who's right next to you. yes, Herbert was on the other side of that collapse. You could argue that a lot of the collapse was on the defense and then snowballs, whatever. But Herbert, very talented quarterback. He can make all the throws. You already know about him. Put up all the yards, touchdowns. They're adding Quentin Johnson to the wide receiver group. Evans, Williams, would love to see those guys be healthy for a full season. But I don't know if we can really expect that now. But I seriously think Herbert's going to continue to put up numbers, which is why he's waiting in line. Now, he definitely needs a playoff win before you can even think about opening the door to him in the VIP room. That's a given. He probably needs a deep playoff run. But he's definitely waiting in line. Dak Prescott, leader of America's team. Depending on how old you are. I guess you still believe that or you don't. I do think the interception machine that he was last year, I think it was an aberration. I feel like Prescott gets back to the quarterback he was before that. A guy who takes care of the ball, makes a safe throw, which is why he takes care of the ball well. And I think the Cowboys are just going to have another 10, 11, 12-win season. Like I said, I do not think he's the quarterback we saw last season. You're allowed to have a blip on the radar every once in a while. I think that's what that was for Dak Prescott. So I'm trying to tell you, he's not as bad as he looked last year. Daniel Jones, I kind of got to put him in the same category, maybe for opposite reason, if that makes sense. But hear me out. I do think some of the Giants' success last year is because the NFC was in transition, if you want to say. A lot of question marks with a lot of teams last year. I think it's kind of the same thing in the NFC this year, but I do think a lot of teams are much improved. So I just don't know if Daniel Jones is necessarily the quarterback who struggled before Daboll, or is this just now the new norm? We're going to start seeing him trending upwards because of Daboll being there. I think it's closer to the latter in him continuing to progress, which is why I have to say, trying to tell you, if you think last year was a fluke, I don't think so. I think it just speaks to how great Daboll is as a offensive guy and, quarterback developer. So I fully think that we'll see Daniel Jones take another step this year. He's not as bad as you think he is outside of last year. Jalen Hurts, waiting in line. Not bad for a young career. I mean, he's already been to a Super Bowl. Yes, he lost it, but the team around him continues to get better. That defense is going to be really good this year. Didn't really lose major offensive weapons. Yes, no Miles Sanders, but you can say they adequately are going to replace his production. Let's be real. So don't expect any drop-off from Jalen Hurts. The Eagles will be right there in the conversation. It's just that his career is still so young. I can't put him as a VIP yet. Maybe an MVP could get him to the VIP room. Maybe. We'll see. But he's definitely approaching the door. I will say that. Sam Howell. Trying to tell you. Look out for Sam Howell this year. Look out for Washington in general. But you're going to see an improvement from Sam Howell because of the addition of Eric Bieniemy to the equation of the coaching staff. And who knows? There could be a point this year where Bieniemy takes over the top spot. Just saying. But Howell's going to be the benefit of Bieniemy bringing in a winning culture with him. He won with Kansas City. He's seen what it takes to reach the highest level. And I think Sam Howell's going to benefit from that. And he has a pretty good season. So, letting you know right now, look out for Sam Howell to put up some pretty good numbers. Who's this? We got Justin Fields. Look, Justin Fields struggled last year. I get it. Trust me, I get it. I saw some Bears games. It was rough. They improved the offensive line. They brought in DJ Moore, who helps the wide receiver room kind of shake out their roles a little bit better. So why shouldn't Justin Fields have a better season? That's my question to you, because I think it's going to happen. Because of what I just said. Last year he was running for his life. The offensive line's been improved. He shouldn't be running around as much. I mean, he's still going to run the ball, don't get me wrong, but now they should be design plays, not him running for survival. And like I said, DJ Moore makes Claypool and Mooney now your 2 and 3. I think we see more from Kmet. So I'm just expecting Justin Fields to kind of let people know, yeah, there's a reason why he probably should have been the guy the Niners took instead of Trey Lance. And why the Bears, a lot of questions about would they trade him or whatever this offseason, were smart to keep him. So I'm expecting some big things from Justin Fields this year. Jared Goff, I got to put him in the same category. So for Goff, it's going to take more than one season to completely forget what happened with the Rams. With the Rams, he was a mediocre quarterback, let's be honest. Even though they made a Super Bowl run, it had nothing to do with him. Nothing. But he did have a really good year last year in Detroit. I just think it's a situation where he's in a better situation for him. He's in a different division, although if he was in the NFC West right now, the NFC West has question marks as well. But the NFC North, yes, the Vikings won the division last year, but there's going to be some questions about them. The Bears and Packers are just so unproven right now. We don't know what to expect from them as well. So now there's expectations in Detroit. They're no longer chasing and surprising teams. They're now a team with a target on their back. So I do think Goff has another good year. I don't think we see him, revert back to Rams Goff. So I'm trying to tell you, Jared Goff is in for another good season. Who is this? Jordan Love. Got to show me something because I don't know what Jordan Love is as an NFL starting quarterback. Nobody does. I'm never going to overreact to preseason or anything like that. The preseason game I saw him with his stint with the Patriots, against the Patriots, I should say, he looked pretty good. And I do think Love's going to have a better season than you think. But I just need to see it. Trust me, there's part of me that wants to put Jordan Love in the I tried to tell you, but I can't do that. Because I just don't know. Kirk Cousins. Captain Kirk. You like that? Where do I put Kirk Cousins? Try to tell you. Yes, everybody points to Kirk Cousins' inability to perform primetime games. If you look at the playoff game he had last year, he was not the reason why the Vikings lost that game. The defense was atrocious. Insert Brian Flores, who should help that. But Kirk Cousins, if you look at his numbers, actually is a really good quarterback numbers-wise. A primetime game issue is a glaring weakness. I get it, and I completely understand it. I'm also a probably bigger Kirk Cousins guy than most. So I'm just telling you, he's going to put up numbers. I've had him a couple of seasons on my fantasy team. Have done well. Just saying. Just saying. Kirk Cousins puts up numbers. And now you're bringing in Jordan Addison to complement Justin Jefferson. Yes, there's no Adam Thielen, but you got Jordan Addison. TJ Hawkinson back with the team. The offense will be fine in the passing game. There's going to be questions about the running game with no Dalvin Cook. But Kirk Cousins is going to have another good statistical season. trying to tell you. Desmond Ritter. Part of me wants to put him here, but benefit of the doubt, he's still young. They've improved the team around him. The addition of Bijan Robinson. They brought in Mac Hollins from the Raiders to be a guy opposite Drake London. They brought in Jonathan Smith opposite Kyle Pitts. They improved the defense, a little bit. So Desmond Ritter, what can you do with all that? Trust me, I have big questions about him. But he could prove me wrong. So he's got to show me something. Bryce Young. All right, what do we? Oh, Bryce Young. Look, he's a rookie. He automatically goes here. We already said that. Now, I do think out of the rookie class, Bryce Young will probably have the best season because the team around him is the best out of the other rookie quarterbacks. I like what they got going on in Carolina. It's just that we got to see what he can do against the NFL. Against NFL defenses, the speed of the NFL, everything like that. We just got to see it. Derek Carr, trying to tell you, don't overreact to the Raiders' season last year. A lot of dysfunction. The Henry Ruggs legal thing, the John Gruden stuff, Waller, Mark Davis is the owner. There's a lot going on. And yes, he struggled, but he's in a new situation with the Saints. He's got Chris Olave. He's got Michael Thomas, who's still a myth until I see him week 1 actually on the field. You have Alvin Kamara, who's going to miss the first couple of games, but you have Jamal Williams. You drafted Kendrick Miller. I think Derek Carr is going to have a really good season there in a division that he could lead the Saints to winning. And then we'll be talking about Derek Carr, playoff starting quarterback. So do not be surprised that Derek Carr has a really, really good season down in New Orleans. Like I said, I'm letting you know right now. All right, Baker Mayfield, who's a guy I root for. I just do. And because of that, I'm trying to tell you, he's going to have a better season in Tampa Bay than you think. All the talk in the offseason and preseason camp about, he or Kyle Trask, I wonder who's going to be the starter. I knew it was going to be Baker Mayfield. Now, I don't necessarily like the talk from Todd Bowles about like a 2-quarterback system. I feel like you either just go all in with Baker Mayfield and wait for him to struggle, then you can bring in Trask, or you might as well just name Trask the quarterback. Why do you need the 2-quarterback system? So you tell me, like, even if Baker Mayfield's playing well, you have a section of plays for Trask, you're just going to insert him anyway? Like, what are we doing here? Got Mike Evans, got Chris Godwin. A lot of quarterbacks would kill for those two as your top 2 wide receivers. So I think Baker Mayfield has a better season than you think he does. Colt McCoy, I literally made this category just for you. You're not a starting quarterback. It's been tried. You never showed why you were given the opportunity. You're only getting this one because Kyler Murray, who's not on here because he's hurt. That's the only reason why you're here. Not good enough for me. Matt Stafford, gotta show me something. I know what you're saying. They just won the Super Bowl a couple seasons ago. Yeah. He had fusion surgery in his neck or vertebrae or something like that. Never like to hear, that procedure for quarterbacks because I automatically think Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning had something like that done, and Peyton Manning could no longer throw a pass. So I need to see what Matt Stafford looks like. The organization has moved on from a lot of players. Aaron Donald, who's probably the best player on the team, has flirted with retirement the past couple of years. I mean, it's a lot. McVay, the head coach, kind of in and out, looking to leave, came back, and yeah, I just have my questions. So show me something, Matt Stafford. I guess prove to me you're still, I don't know, top 15, top 10 ish type quarterback. Brock Purdy. Yeah. Brock Purdy, look, he was Mr. Irrelevant, last pick of the draft. Nobody expected anything from him. He was the quarterback of the Niners that made the NFC title game. He got hurt in the game. I mean, yes, the Eagles probably going to win that game anyway, but people still question if Brock Purdy stayed healthy, what would have happened? So I think Brock Purdy has another decent season. I don't think he necessarily becomes like Colt McCoy or something, which I think some people think because he was Mr. Irrelevant. I think the situation he's in definitely does help him a lot. If he was somewhere else, I probably wouldn't have Brock Purdy in this category. But I think in San Francisco, what he's asked to do in that offense with Kyle Shanahan, I think he'll be fine. So, he'll be fine. Don't worry about it. He'll be fine. That's all I can really say about Brock Purdy. Geno Smith. Once again, the run he had with the Jets and how bad that was, I think some people are questioning how valid last season was with Geno Smith. Can he really do it again? I'm here to tell you, yes, he can. He was one of the more accurate passers in the league last season. I don't see that going away. You have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, Tyler Lockett is one of my favorite wide receivers in the league. He just makes plays. DK Metcalf is a game breaker. And oh yeah, they added JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba to that. He's dealing with a wrist injury right now, which we'll have to see how long he's going to be out. But when he comes back, not a bad trio of wide receivers. You have Kenneth Walker running back. You got Zach Charbonnet, who's added to the mix now. So I really think Geno Smith has a similar season than last year, and I think that this is kind of who Geno Smith is right now. So that's what I'm saying. To those of you who think that last year was a fluke, I'm trying to let you know right now, do not be shocked if Geno Smith not only has a similar season, but an even better season this year. Once again, try to tell you. That's it. That's all 32 starting quarterbacks. So, obviously, let me know down in the comment section who maybe I'm missing the boat on. Doesn't matter which category I have them in. You let me know if I missed the mark on anybody down in the comments. I'll definitely, read it and respond back to you. Maybe probably give you my reasoning why. Also, let me know why you think I was wrong on any of them. Am I missing somebody from the VIP room? Should somebody join Colt McCoy in the not good enough? Let me know. So yeah, make sure to check out the bio or about page, whatever. Follow me on all the socials. Would greatly appreciate it. I do appreciate all of you for tuning in. Love the growth that's going on the channel. I'll also have the gaming stream over on Twitch, so you can check me out there. It's Kizzy Gamer 84, KIZZY GAMER for gamer and 84. Have a FIFA series going on right now. Having a lot of fun with it. Make sure you join me over there. Oh, what else? So yeah, so next week, because remember, got videos dropping Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's the new schedule. Next week will probably be mainly NFL prediction videos. As I mentioned before, playoff predictions, which I guess obviously would be division winner predictions, like Super Bowl, MVP. We'll just see how the week goes. And obviously, if anything big happens anywhere else in sports, you already know it's going to be a part of the videos. So yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah. So as I always say, be safe out there. God bless, and I'll catch you in the next video. All right, I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your day.